Hi everyone, this is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts. This is a Q&A episode. I got a lot of them today, so let's actually get right to it, shall we? So, Jody from Kentucky, are sauropods capable of tripoding? So, tripoding, for a lot of people that don't know, is basically when an animal actually, like a quadruple animal that probably cannot walk on the fourth limb, or the fourth leg or arm. And so that pretty much actually would be like, can that kind of animal actually tripod? We see dogs do that. We see cats do that. We see some reptiles do that. Um, some mammals can do it, but it's just that the heavier, bulkier animals probably could not. I've seen elephants that actually have like a broken wrist, and they can't walk on that like one of those front feet, and so they actually like walk on like that type of injured wrist, and so that kind of actually slows them down a little bit. But in case of sauropods, it's a possibility, but I also think it's probably not going to happen, because first and foremost is that an animal that large, you need all four limbs. And so when you need all four limbs, you need to make sure that all the body weight is actually evenly distributed. And so I can probably only see the juveniles possibly doing it if they got like an injured limb. But with the larger adults, I don't think so. Because first and foremost, if you got an injury that is actually on that one limb, predators are actually going to see that. They're going to know that you're the weakest link, and pretty much they're going to go after you. They're going to go after that injured limb and pretty much just make that limb that injury much more severe. And so that probably be the case that I would say sauropods, when the juveniles can tripod if they have an injury and they can fully quickly heal, but at least they got the protection from some of the juveniles will get the protection of the herd. But when you actually have probably, say, an adult, it probably won't happen. That adult gets eaten. And so I would say juveniles could, just not the adults. Brendan from Morris, New York. In the documentary Clash of the Dinosaurs, did hadrosaurs really use ultrasound? Well, ultrasound is not really the word that is actually used in that show. It's actually called infrasound. And so infrasound is actually a very low sound that is much lower than what we can hear. A lot of larger animals do this. Crocodilians do this. Birds do this. And some large mammals can actually do this as well, like elephants, rhinos, those types of animals. They can use infrasound. Because you see, what that is actually more like a communication type of vocalization mostly. But when you actually have to possibly use that as a weapon, it is very rarely used on land, because first and foremost, infrasound can actually be used in water, because like say dolphins and whales, like say dolphins could actually focus that type of sonar on a much tighter beam and actually paralyze, kind of like stun their prey, and then that way they can eat it a lot easier instead of actually chasing it and waste energy. And like sperm whales would actually do the same thing. They'll actually do that. Orcas will do that. They'll actually use a tight beam of sonar to actually stun their prey. But with land animals, that is very, very rare. I think Bakker kind of actually is stretching it a little bit in terms of like, could land animals use that as a weapon? It's a possibility, but also I think that's very, very far-fetched. Because first of all, with sound coming from the air, going through the air, it kind of goes slower than it does in water. And so I would probably say that the hadrosaurs can use infrasound. It's just that I do not think they would use it as a weapon that much. They can make noise to distract the predator, because that's what they would probably be doing. Is that probably multiple individuals probably facing the predator head on and just making as much noise as possible. Because when you're making as much noise as possible in front of like a single predator, that predator is not going to do anything. It's going to be like, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm going to walk away. You know, that sort of thing. But like, yeah, infrasound would actually be the word I would use, not ultrasound. Ultrasound is actually looking inside of like, say, a pipeline, or otherwise like a womb, because ultrasound is what doctors use to actually look at human babies in mother's womb. And also they do use that for other types of animals as well, like, say, reptiles that are laying eggs, birds that are about to lay eggs, those sorts of things, and a lot of mammals too. So yeah, ultrasound and infrasound are totally different. All right, Benjamin from Hong Kong. Is Herrerasaurus the largest of all Triassic predatory dinosaurs? I really don't know. Even though Herrerasaurus is one of the larger dinosaurs, I want to say there's another one out there. I just don't remember what kind. It's kind of escaping me a bit. But somebody in the comment section let me know what other large Triassic dinosaurs are out there. Large predatory dinosaurs that are out there in the Triassic. And it has to be a dinosaur. It can't be a archosaur. So it has to be a dinosaur. So somebody let me know in the comments section. But yeah, Herrerasaurus would actually be one of them. I just can't remember if there was another one out there. And how large can Susquityrannus be? Well, Susquityrannus is one of the newer tyrannosaurs that has just been discovered. It was actually discovered basically by accident. It was actually discovered because some of the bones are actually in a plaster jacket, and were actually sitting in museum storage for so many years, and not a lot of scientists were able to study that because they just thought, yeah, whatever, there's not too much about this. It's possibly just another small saurosaur. But they didn't actually take a good look at the bones to actually find out what dinosaurs it could possibly be related to, and then it wasn't until recently that they actually realized, like, wait a minute, this dinosaur has the same characteristics as Tyrannosaurs, and so that's why it's actually given into the part of the Tyrannosauridia family, and so that probably would be the case. Is that how big could it be? I would probably say it's still going to be a small dinosaur. It would probably be close to 6 feet long, and probably weigh less than 50 pounds. Because first and foremost, with a small dinosaur like that, it is not going to be a big time predator. It's actually going to be a small predator, and so that's why you're most likely are going to see is a bunch of small dinosaurs being discovered a lot more. Larger dinosaurs are very rare sometimes, but the larger ones get most of the attention, and so that's why. But Susquityrannus would actually probably be a small tyrannosaur, probably between 4 to 6 feet long and weigh less than 50 pounds. All right, Lukezilla, I'm going to answer a few questions from you because you sent me so many I can't answer them all. So I'll actually start with some that I can actually pick around here, and with this. And so, who would win, Rugops or Carnotaurus? Easy, Carnotaurus. Who would win, Rugops or Dilophosaurus? Rugops. And you got more 5 questions here. And so, who would win, Giganotosaurus or Tyrannosaurus Rex? Well, a lot of people would actually debate about this because even though that Giganotosaurus is slightly larger than Tyrannosaurus Rex, but Tyrannosaurus Rex is heavier and actually has a bigger brain, and so, but also Tyrannosaurus Rex has got the power, and so I would actually say that Tyrannosaurus Rex would actually definitely defeat Giganotosaurus because first and foremost, one bite from Tyrannosaurus Rex onto Giganotosaurus, game's over, and so I'll probably say Tyrannosaurus Rex. Giganotosaurus or Spinosaurus depends on what environment. If it's near the water, Spinosaurus. If it's on land, Giganotosaurus. And you got a really good Tyrannosaur battle one right here. Tarbosaurus or the Spletosaurus, and who would win that one? That's a very tough one. Even though Tarbosaurus is larger than the Spletosaurus, and the Spletosaurus will probably have majority of the speed to actually escape the jaws of Tarbosaurus, but I would still say Tarbosaurus would actually win that battle because first and foremost, it's larger, and also it's probably got a little bit more of a powerful bite, and so that's probably why I would actually say Tarbosaurus would actually win that one. And let's see here. You got so many of them. I'm trying to keep track here. Let's see here. What if Carnotaurus was bigger than Giganotosaurus? Well, that's kind of hard to tell, as we can't really know how large certain animals could be. But Carcharodontosaurus, I would probably say, couldn't get any bigger than Giganotosaurus. It would probably just be slightly smaller than Giganotosaurus, but I don't think it's getting any bigger. But if it were, I'll probably say that like the skull would be a little bit longer. The weight would actually be a lot heavier, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's probably what I would actually answer for that one. But those are big what ifs. Big what ifs. And what is my favorite dinosaur? It's pretty obvious in terms of anybody that has actually followed me and also watched the videos. Anything I actually wear most of the time, and even if I have mentioned it, and you can actually see it in the intro part of the video, is a type of skull. And that type of skull belongs to one of the more famous T-Rex specimens, Stan. And so you probably would guess is that in that type of what I said, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex is my all-time favorite. It's been my all-time favorite since I was a kid, just because it's big. It's got the bone-crushing jaws, bone-crushing teeth, the forward-facing eye sockets, great sense of smell, great hearing, big brain, and also it's got the hollow bones. Like a bird. It has the same respiratory system as a bird. It's got the same bone as a bird between the shoulder blades, the wishbone. Multiple things I love about Tyrannosaurus Rex. I mean, just basically the size, the bone-crushing jaws, the eyesight, the smell, and the hearing, and the brain, and many other things. I can love a lot on Tyrannosaurus Rex, and Tyrannosaurs are my all-time favorite family group of dinosaurs, and that's why I love Tyrannosaurs so much. It's because they're just a fascinating group of dinosaurs. If I had to pick my favorite herbivorous dinosaur, it would actually be Stegosaurus. It's got the tail spikes, the fascinating back plates, and it's the most iconic Jurassic dinosaur of all time. And everybody knows Stegosaurus. Everybody knows Tyrannosaurus Rex. You get the idea. And so, my all-time favorite dinosaur, Tyrannosaurus Rex. And that's why I got the Sue hat. She's a T-Rex, and I've seen her twice, and I want to see her for a third time. But if I do get to see her a third time, that'll be an extra episode sometime, and so you actually will get to see that sometime. But who knows when? That's always the determining part right there. All right, that's it for now, and next week would actually be a special episode to let you guys know what kind of prehistoric animal I'm going to talk about. I'm possibly going to do a mammal. I haven't done a mammal in a while, and so I'll let you guys know about that sometime this weekend. And you can still, and if you got any questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life, you can still send them by emailing me at dinocrest71@gmail.com, or just go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts at DinoCrest. Like the page, you actually post your questions on the wall or in the comments section, and the YouTubers out there. You can actually like the videos, subscribe to the channel, because that helps the channel out very, very much, helps me a lot, and it keeps me going to actually do these videos all the time. And so, but that, and also you can still send me questions in the comment section. But I want to make sure that let everybody know to actually probably do at least 2 to 3 questions in your comments for sending me questions, because if you're sending me like a boatload of them, I can't answer them all. I would actually have to do the ones that I think I could actually answer, and so those are the ones I can actually do. And so, just so you know, try to keep it to a 2 to 3 question minimum, so that way I can actually answer them, and that way you can actually get the. But I do appreciate the fight questions too, because those are actually kind of fun. But those are just basically my opinion on what I think who would win. Not really based on any facts. It's just basically my opinion. But there will be some facts with each animal that you actually represent, and so that's why I actually will do certain fight questions. And so just so you know. But yeah, so send me questions in the comment section, and for you YouTubers out there, and also try to pronounce your name as good as I can. And and remember, keep your questions short and to the point. You can also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. That's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there. Also, take care of people around you. And also, for you younger people out there, to make sure listening to your parents, your teachers, and your guardians is the best motivation you can have for good education. It's very important to have good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. And I'll show you this for a little bit. This is the Baryonyx claw, and you can see I'm in the back room area of the museum, and we're going to be open this weekend. So stop by in Wausau, Wisconsin, if you're going to be there, and check out Colossal Fossils, and I'll give you a tour. And so, all right, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next week.